welcome back to Conscripted, episode 17.
18.
Oh yeah, it actually is 18, and I think I put 18 in the title too. Thank you so much, John. Also, another thanks to John. I know it's been a few days since you did the last one, but I saw you got us up to episode 9 in the notes on the wiki. So thank you so much for that.
Eventually, I'll catch up.
Eventually, I'll get the towns and the gods finished. But I keep having like thought problems while I'm trying to work on that. So I'm bad at this sometimes, most times, all the time.
What are you doing, Ryan?
He's doing Ryan-esque things. Okay, so before we get started, one quick thing that I want to make sure doesn't happen from Ryan now that we speak of Ryan. Whatever that thing you use that makes that clicking sound, I think it was you. I couldn't tell. I just know that as I was watching last week's stream, somebody had something that was making a clicking sound, and it was driving me absolutely fucking insane as I watched the video. And now it's going to drive me insane if you keep using that syringe like it's a tool for drinking.
It is.
Ryan's gonna drive Steve insane.
I will throw the internet at you.
I have no idea what noise you were talking about. I don't
know that it was you. I just, in a couple of scenes, like everybody else had their hands slightly visible. So I assumed it was you, but I don't know. And it definitely couldn't have been Michelle because she wasn't here.
Actually, I snuck into the stream. I actually snuck into the Discord call to do that while I was gone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry, not
you hacked
sorry.
somebody else's stream.
Yeah.
All right.
It's true. I was there. I saw it.
All right. So let's get a recap. Spinks, I believe you've got the recap this week.
Yeah, we
you guys did a bunch of stuff, and I wasn't there.
So hold on. Can I point out something where like this could have worked? You produce the episodes. You take the episodes from Twitch and put them on YouTube. I'm just giving you a hard time.
So yeah, Mal had to learn to be a pastor. He hadn't actually ever administered a wedding, or sorry,
it took me a minute to catch what you were doing there.
Yeah, I mean, so we countered some more lions, just typical lion stuff at this point. But we made it back to the military camp. The party opted, I don't know if Spinksar would have agreed, they opted not to punish Arius for his almost getting us killed.
I remember her protesting based on him being her husband or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want this running gag to continue where people keep
Spinks,
confusing them as a
couple. You're
couple.
also married to Arius. It's a very confusing situation at this point.
I leave for 1 session.
But more or less, we kind of got pretty much off the hook for the most part. The military has bigger stuff going on. They don't really care about these minor things as much, but it's kind of like a ticking clock at this point. If like any particular people make more incidents, they'll probably start cracking down on us. So then we found out that there's a lot of developments in the mountains, which we are trying to get more information on presently in Kazaram, where we are talking with the mage, who says he can do a very powerful divination spell to crack through essentially what I'm imagining is the natural magic barrier around the mountains because of all the experimentation that's happened there. We don't actually know if it's that. That's just me speculating. It could also be some magic that's being produced by whatever is there.
Speaking of that, does anybody else have any speculations about that?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Does anybody else have any speculations about what's blocking scrying from happening in the mountains? Just curious.
No, not offhand.
Okay.
This is the area where Meldronicus thinks that mine is that the military is interested in, right?
The mine is somewhere in the mountains. He knows it's somewhere west of Kumoa, but without like kind of tracking back to where it was, he wouldn't really be able to know for certain.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe someone already like is in possession of it and they're blocking like people finding where it is or something maybe.
Yep.
I don't know who that would be though.
But there's a lot of things possibly. I think Mal's natural, just because of all his studies, would be that it's based on this like mountain.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I am not in any way trying to dissuade you from your theory. I'm just curious if other people had theories. Anyway, continue with the recap. Or you can pass it on to somebody else if you want to share some of that XP, or really just give them access to some of that XP.
Yeah. What are we doing after we leave Kazaram?
Are we going to...
You guys had set up a whole plan for where you were going, so...
Yeah, I was trying to remember, because I know that there was... needed to go to Kminster at some point, and either Kamoa or Mukmak. I think it was Mukmak.
Both.
Both, okay.
What are we going to Kamoa for?
I couldn't remember. I knew it was one of those places over there. I just couldn't remember if it was Mukmak or Kamoa.
All right, so who wants XP for telling me why you're going to Kamoa?
Did you stop?
All right.
You damn humans! You don't care about us.
Mal, continue.
Okay. So we're going to Kamoa to meet with the Crimson Council. They are a band of goblins, half-orcs, orcs, just all the sorts of that. I guess what would just like goblins? Are goblins and orcs all the same type of like subrace?
A lot of people consider them that, and a lot of entomologists. That is the right word, right? People who study the history of species or of groups of tribes of groups or groups of tribes. A lot of entomologists believe that there might be some linkage, but there's also some conflictory evidence that says like they may not necessarily be derived from exactly the same families, but it's very difficult to tell.
Okay. Well, but in general, Kamoa is basically almost exclusively these sort of non-human species that have bonded together and found sort of harmony.
And wargs.
In fact, when you guys met Maldronicus, I was with them in that party, and that was kind of why I came to the camp initially. I was there as their emissary, essentially. So we're going to see if they'll help us repel whatever is coming out of the mountains.
Slight correction there. Not repel. They're just going in to get intel about what was going on there.
As a scouting thing?
Yes.
They're, to my understanding, the Crimson Council is sort of familiar with these mountains. Like, that's kind of why they ran into me when they did. They sort of have scouting in that area and whatnot, so they're sort of more familiar. And then Mukmak, we specifically are just going to for the purpose of the taxes. And then, but now additionally, Arius has remembered that they have giant emeralds there, and they may have an emerald large enough to help Kazaram Mage cast his divination spell.
Yep.
Don't we also have a document to set up an alcohol trade route to them as well?
That's true.
Eventually, yes. If that gets delivered, do you guys still have that?
It was with
I think it was with Jack's stuff, right?
So we still have it. It's probably with Maldronicus.
Yeah, because if you didn't have it, then Jack probably had it on him, and they gave me everything with writing that Jack had.
Right.
So it's somewhere on my persons or somebody's persons.
All right.
And we also found out about the war to the south and the war to the north.
Well, there's not any confirmed war. There's some irregularity to both the north and the south. The irregularity in the northern mountains and the irregularity in the south near the former capital of the country, Meraxus.
Is that? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah. I knew it was one of those cities, but I couldn't remember which one I was going to ask.
Oraklis also give us like an ominous, like it's growing or some shit. Something's growing.
Yes, in the mountains to the north, his inability to scry is growing. You also got the same confirmation from Tonelli when he said that like they're dealing with a threat further and further out from where it was before.
It's the pack of giant lions, Arius.
Yeah, it probably has nothing to do with the same thing that's affecting the lions.
For such cases.
I'm sure that magic is in no way related.
All right, so when we left off, you guys had finished your conversation with Heracles, and it was basically evening because you guys had sort of marched through the night to get into town before instead of having to rest outside of town. So yeah, do you guys want to move to the next day, or do you guys want to do some stuff over the evening? Over the nighttime, really.
I didn't have anything.
No, I've got nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, unless any of the stuff that the party fund, we haven't really tried to pawn off any stuff from there in a while. I don't know if any of the things would be best to sell here as opposed to elsewhere. We have some wands, some random gems, and we still have that dagger of venom.
Mm-hmm. Well, the dagger of venom, is going to be a little difficult to get rid of. Actually, you guys left on. Sorry, I just realized the calendar's out of date, so I'm trying to catch that up real quick.
Also, Michelle Maldronicus is pretty convinced that Ryan is becoming a werewolf, so that's not memeing. That's actually
mummy.
Get it right.
So you are now the most normal person in the group, Michelle. You only talk to ghosts.
And bring them along.
Well, they can't see them. Remember, they don't know that you're bringing them along yet.
Oh yeah, I haven't told them I've got 27 ghosts in my pocket.
27 ghosts? They're not really in your pockets. They're all kind of flying around you.
They're in my pockets. On my sheet, they're in my pockets. I like to pretend they're in my pockets because it sounds more fun.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you didn't get bit by a radioactive weremummy.
I never said it was radioactive.
Oh.
All right, so I'm assuming everybody. So you said you don't really think you've got anything to cash in town.
It is essentially the selling of gems, like marked gems, like the currency gems. Is that always just a pretty straightforward thing?
Yeah, that's always a straightforward thing.
What percentage do I take off on their face values?
You actually do not for ones that are marked.
Okay, then yeah, I'm just going to consolidate that because we have a bunch of them. So, okay, cool. Then I don't.
Well, remember, by changing them into gold, somebody needs to be accounting for the money the physical capital that you're carrying.
Yeah.
So gems make the load much lighter because gems weigh like less than a pound for larger amounts of currency. So when you increase the amount of coin that you're getting, you're increasing your carry weight as well.
Well, a lot of this is in our cart now at this point.
Sure, I'm just bringing up the thing to make sure that you aren't wondering like later on why is he talking about like the fact that somebody's encumbered or that the cart has this extra weight on it.
Okay, it's kind of, I think it's almost break even because a lot of these are only 10 GP.
Okay.
So isn't that exactly break even? They weigh about a pound.
Yeah, roughly at that point. They actually weigh a little less than a pound depending upon the gem, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess I keep forgetting whenever we're at the military camp. People should remind me if I forget, but we should always consolidate our party's GP into PP whenever we're at the military camp, since they do that for us for free.
Yep.
Yeah, I have nothing special else here. You said that
Okay.
Any of the stuff that we talked about is not available here, right?
Yes, that is correct. This is not a big enough. Well, there seems to be a lot of like gems running around this place. There is definitely not a thriving enough economy of exchange that they would have access to magical items at that kind of level even.
Cool.
All right, so let's deal with some sleep here. And there is something that we need to talk about in this sleep segment. And most importantly, it is a couple of dreams. So, we're going to start with you, Sphinx.
No need to point at me now.
You're back in the fields. Around you are the outlines of your group. Although, for some reason, Cassius is standing up, and he's looking at your face, and then he's like looking away, and then he pulls out his Wayfinder, and he's looking at his Wayfinder. Cassius, you see this very odd, like, you see Sphinx, and once again her face is the Wayfinder. But there's something sort of like silverish about the tone of her face that seems like it's like fading in and out of what you perceive to be real. And Mal, you see Cassius looking at the Wayfinder and looking for a moment at something very odd about Sphinx's face. And Sphinx's eyes are like lightened that same way you saw them go when she was identifying the items at the table. The three of you sit around the night fire. What are you reaching out to?
Oh, I'm definitely touching her face to see if it feels real.
Okay. Sphinx doesn't notice as you touch her face, and it feels like a Wayfinder. And as he touches your face, Sphinx, you feel something like swirl up around you and whisper in your ear, "Many things are connected. Many needs are all the same. Many wants are all aligned. Sometimes the spirits speak to us from far or from close. Do you see your friend?" And you can now like turn and see that Cassius has his finger like pointed into your face. It is like right between your eyes. And Cassius, as you point your finger in her face, you can see like the Wayfinder spins faster and faster and faster and faster. And Mal, as you sit and watch this happen, you can watch as Sphinxara's face kind of drifts back and forth between Wayfinder and between her face.
Can I detect magic on this?
Sure.
Any sort of concentration check?
No, just you hit detect magic on it, and you can see like everything around you is magical. As you try to identify like all of the magic, there is a large amount of various different effects going on in this. You notice that the Wayfinder itself has some form of divination cast upon it. It has some form of transmutation on it. You notice that there are specks of like light that seem to fly around Sphinxara. Dozens of them flying about where she is, but none of them register as magic of a type you know. They just seem to float around her, made up of what your detect magic shows as clearly magic, but not at all magic itself. Or not at all, not any school that you're aware of.
Does anything that I'm detecting seem to be, I essentially hear the, like, whatever, or did only Sphinx hear the connected
Only
thing?
Sphinx can hear the connected thing.
Never mind. Then I wouldn't be doing it.
Okay. Sphinx, you must know, and it's a very difficult thing to understand. Your friends are just that, and they're not. Your friends will seek what they need. One day it will happen. They will go only after what they need, and you will need to think of what your needs are before you think of theirs. That is the only way you will save them. Remember, though, that it's all connected. Your actions will affect them, and their actions will affect yours. Do you understand?
Someone.
With time comes comprehension. Cassius, what do you do as she just kind of stares at you? You can see her mouth move, but where like you hear what should be words coming out, they just sort of vaporize. And Mal, as you watch her mouth move, the words that come out seem to turn into magical energy and then disappear out of sight, as if like she's breathing forth some kind of magical air that just kind of spreads into the air around her.
Is the thing still spinning?
It's still spinning.
Is it like spinning across her entire face, or?
Yes.
Damn, gotta stick my finger in her mouth.
You can't see her mouth.
Oh. So it's not pointing in any one direction?
It is not.
Alright. I'm gonna put my finger in the thing.
Okay. You like poke her in the head, and as you do, the like hand turns and it points at you. And it follows you.
I don't like that.
Go ahead, Mal.
I think in a dream, I feel a little bit more chaotic than normal. I'm going to go up to Ryan and take his map from his back pocket and shove it into Sphinx's face.
Okay. You walk over and you take out the map, and you like, do you push his hand aside, or you just try to do it like while his hand is still touching her forehead?
Yeah, I basically wedge it aside, and I'm trying to see how far the map goes into the...
Cassius, do you resist?
Am I able to like tell what he's trying to do with this?
It looks like he's trying to stuff the map all over her face.
I'm not gonna resist.
Okay. As you take the map and you press it upon her face, you watch as the map like starts to wrap around her face as if it's turned into some kind of liquid and is now trying to like turn itself into a mask on her.
She looks like that globe from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Sphinx, you watch uncontrollably as Mal does this, as he wraps this map around your face.
Thanks, man.
And as he does so, you can hear the voice whisper, I think you'll learn more tomorrow. And all three of you wake up. But before your waking up happens, we have another dream. Arius, you're there in your room again.
Okay. Still Kid Arius.
Yep.
Any new toys to play with?
Give me a perception.
Oh boy.
Kid Arius was one of my favorite DS games.
Nope. Just you see the same ones you've seen already.
I think I've tried them all, right?
You've tried, yeah. You've tried the gloves. You've tried the backstrap. You've tried the claws.
And the shirt.
Yep.
Those were the only ones I think there were, right?
Yep.
Or I don't notice anymore.
Nope.
I'm listening at that door. Is it closed? Is it open?
It is open right now. It'll be a little while before they start. Before you can hear them starting to yell.
When I walk outside, what do I see exactly again?
You're in a long hallway. Do you want to walk out now
It
without
goes-
grabbing anything and look again, and reorient yourself with the room?
And it goes left and right, right?
It goes left or right. Yep.
And left is where the dog usually comes from, and right is just, I never found out, I guess.
Yeah, right seems to be an unending hallway in the last few times you've done this.
Okay. I want to cast Shock Shield on myself.
Okay. You can do that.
And then once that's done, I'm walking towards the dog, where the dog usually comes.
Okay. And the dog comes racing towards you.
Okay, before he gets to me, if I can see him, I want to release the shield.
Okay.
Or he gets in contact with me to see if
You let loose the shield, and the dog electrifies and falls to the floor. And once again, you can hear the shouting stop and the two men start to walk towards you. Arius, what are you doing down there?
Down there, where are they? Upstairs or something?
No, they're bigger than you. You're like little kid Arius.
Can I try and push past them?
You can try to, but they'll kind of like reach down and like grab you by the shirt as you try to push by. You're just a little kid. It's very difficult to slip by them.
Okay, did they catch me?
Oh yeah, they easily catch you. But as you get a little past, you can see like you do get like kind of between them as they grab you, and you can see like these giant like tables laid out they look like they're made of metal, and they're on these like steel slabs with these like manacles that come up from them in different parts. You can see a number of contraptions hanging from the ceiling, and a number of like smaller tables that like seem like they're holding a bunch of like tools that are hanging off the that are hanging just slightly over the edge.
So wait, have they stopped me?
But they've stopped you. They've got you as you're like trying to push past them. All right, and you cast this
liberating command,
and you are free to go from them. And
can I see anything more clearly when I pass them?
Yeah, you can get in here. The floor is like polished to a point that you can see little kid Arius in the floor beneath you, and you can see that like your face looks scarred, your arms are scarred, your chest is heavily scarred. As you look in the floor around you, you can see
scarred. I was gonna say scarred how, like burn marks or like actual like
a combination of like burn marks and some cuts and some like peeling of flesh and some places where like flesh should be, but it isn't quite like in its place right, so it looks kind of like, you know, like it's hanging off a bit. You look nothing like you remember yourself as a child.
Does any memory flood back to me of how I got these scars at all, or no?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
As you feel the hand, as you're getting away, or as you're moving even further forward, you feel a hand grab you by the back of back of your neck, and start lifting you up and turning you to face it. Arius, you've been a bad boy. Now, we're gonna have to put you through the treatments again. And they lay you down on the table. And it's like he grabs you by the back of the neck. You notice that like your body is completely paralyzed. And he lays you down on the table, and as he lets his hand go, like you start feeling your movement come back, and you jerk away, and you can feel that the manacles are holding you in place. And he like brings a mask down to cover your face. Arius, everything will be okay tomorrow. You'll be a good boy again tomorrow. And you fall asleep.
Jesus.
So, this is the furthest that your dreams will go. You've experienced all of the potential outcomes that you can have from your dreams. So each dream is kind of an iteration of each thing. The toys that are available to you are the toys that you know. They are the gloves, they are the claws, they are the wings, and the shirt. And the dragon toy, which you basically have in every dream, sort of, although it's been less apparent since you've gotten the amulet again. There will be a later session that you and I will do, where we will fill in all of the blanks of what the dream means. And that will be the point at which your memory of your past will fully coalesce.
Oh, shit. Alright.
And that is where you all wake up.
Is it like morning now, or are we waking up in the middle of the night?
It's a little early in the morning. Like it's the sun still hasn't, the first sun has still not quite risen yet.
I'm gonna look around me. Is my room destroyed from releasing of a shock shield, or is there
there are scorch marks across your bed. And you notice like your blanket is flung all the way across the room.
From liberating
command. No sheets will hold you.
Can I get? Oh, I don't know if it's scorched. If this will work, I'll try casting mending on the floor to try and fix it. Or...
Sure.
I don't remember where we stayed. Did we stay at the same inn or something?
Yeah, it's that same inn. So you can
Okay.
you can cast mending, and that'll sort of between mending and if you have regular prestidigitation, that'll take care of all the problems here.
Okay, yeah, I spend my early morning doing that, trying to fix the room up.
Okay. All right. And how about the rest of you?
Normal waking up, eating food,
All right.
Is the
nothing
bar
fancy.
Huh?
Is the bar open already?
They'll serve drinks in the morning.
I
Yeah,
will
they
take
will.
A drink.
All right. So you guys come. You guys can have your breakfast, and you'll notice that Sphinx is taking up Jax's typical morning drinking.
By Jack, you mean Zeke?
Or Zeke.
Right?
Zeke's regular morning drinking.
Yes, Zeke. And only Zeke.
We got rid of Jack. Don't even
All right. Any conversations for the morning?
I'm going to join in this sentiment.
So you're going to drink as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Quick question: Am I losing? Did I lose spell points for those castings of spells?
You did not. Because you'll basically you'll regain them when you wake up.
Yeah, I don't know how long they're there for, but after I finish cleaning the rune up, I'll come down.
Okay. Yeah, you'll
Join
be
me.
able to come down. You'll be able to meet them while they're still eating.
Anyone have an interesting night last night?
Everyone is like dead silent, and like 3 of them are drinking as you come downstairs.
Oh, all of them are drinking?
Mal is not drinking, correct? No, but the rest of the party is.
Looks like I wasn't the only one who had another rough night. At least no one was trying to murder me and outside my door this time, though.
Cassius,
Yes.
may I inspect your map for a second?
Sure. I'll hand him over my map.
Mm-hmm.
I unravel it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything from memory that has changed on it?
The map still looks the same.
I would say, Sphinxara, when have you started drinking? By the way, you know what? Whatever.
8 a.m.
Can
sorry,
you put
is
your
it a problem
hand?
for you?
Can you put your hand onto this?
I guess.
Hold on, remember last time you put your hand in a piece of paper? What happened? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
You put your hand in a book one time. You never.
I promise you, it's just a minute.
I'll slowly.
I'm
flip
pretty
my
certain
hand
nothing
out.
will happen.
Yeah.
Bad.
You put your hand on the map, and nothing changes yet. Sorry, nothing changes.
Spoilers. You guys want to fill me in on?
Of
Anything
course, of
particular
course.
happened?
I sort of, I'm sitting there pondering
This
to
looks
myself in my
awkward.
head.
I just see you like she's like putting her hand on the map, and everyone's just watching
I'm just
intently,
like-
and I look very confused.
It's like E equals MC squared. Yes. Cassius, you must give Sphinxor your wayfinder.
Okay. I'll go ahead and slide it over to Sphinx.
As you slide it over, do you slide it across the table, or do you slide it across the map to where her hand is on the map?
Would the map get damaged if I slide it across it?
Probably not. The map's pretty well held down because her hand is there.
Okay, then I guess I'll put it like gently across the thing.
Okay. As soon as you touch the wayfinder to the map, the 3 of you like cannot see the inn anymore. And for a moment, you can see a castle flying in the air above the water below. In it, Sphinx, you can see a very large spirit that wanders the castle. It seems angry. It like burns with bright red energy, and it wanders about the castle, looking for something. It looks as if it's searching frantically for something. The other two of you see that there are bright flashes of light. That the castle itself seems to shake just a bit from time to time. And then you hear like a roaring sound. And a location appears on the map as your sight returns to the map.
Interesting.
Right here. I want that to be a circle, actually. Can I get a circle? Yes, Alt is a circle.
Oh, right above Meraxis?
Right next to Meraxis, yeah.
Do I see this appear on the map?
You do see this appear on the map. And it looks like it is supernaturally written into the map. Like, the circle kind of phases in and out of reality, and it causes, like, that portion of the map to periodically become transparent.
What did you guys just do to that map?
Sphinx, you can see, you can, like, well, I guess you have to, never mind. I can't continue. Go on. Do what you're doing.
I had nothing to do with that, I think.
Mal's just like, fascinating. I've been thinking in my spare time recently about how there might be portions of the mind that we can only access in our sleep. I don't know what I'll call them yet, but I believe them to be Freudian. Sounds interesting to me.
Sounds like some pseudoscience.
Yeah, it sounds like you just slipped into that.
But it's somehow we discovered the truth of this in our sleep that we could not find while awake. This is fascinating. He like gets his journal out and starts scribbling all these like notes about this.
I'm very confused. Did you guys all have like the same dream or something? How do you guys all know to do these things you're doing?
Wait, did everyone see a map get shoved in my face?
Yes,
did no
actually.
one care?
I thought you were
suffocate me with a map.
I thought you were.
I was like, you were sleeping. It did no harm. Continue scribbling.
I didn't think you were real, so I assumed I would just let him do it and see what happens.
Is it not odd that all of you were sharing this experience except for me?
It's also odd that we just found out about this. Guessing none of us decided to bring it up.
I sleep with
you
Ayun.
all seem to be working together with this map. I assumed you all knew what you were doing.
I commune with Ayun most nights. This is nothing new for me.
I usually just see wayfinders on faces when I'm asleep.
Well, I had a odd dream myself of my supposed past. I can't really remember it. I was a kid and some things were going down. But it wasn't as interesting as what you're describing, I think.
Is
A
it like
map to the face is not that interesting, don't worry.
is it like one of those things you buried away deep below your conscious? Like maybe in some sort of subconscious?
I didn't remember it, but it seemed like I was perhaps being tortured or something. I saw myself as a child, but I was all scarred and burned, but clearly I'm not now.
If
I look at my skin, is it not like that?
It is not like that. By the way, if it's your subconscious, but there's something else that's controlling it, is that the Dom conscious?
Yeah.
No, that's the it.
Yeah, I know.
I would if I pull down my hood and look at you, Aris, does it seem familiar?
I look at him. Is this I guess you're asking me to look at your burned face or whatever?
You're asking about whether or not your tattoo matches what he saw,
yep.
Or what it looked like. No, it looks much different than what he's got. Like you were severely disfigured. This is a very like what has happened on Maldronicus's face is it looks bad, right? It looks pretty bad. But what you were looking at your body is like, how was I alive with this kind of like disfigurement on my body? How am I not feeling in utter miserable pain?
And sorry, when you described it to me, you said it was like streaks, right? So like a mixture of burns and maybe like wounds from like blades or something like that.
Yes.
Like it was a mixture.
Like maybe things have cut you open, or things have like peeled portions of your skin away, or like stretched parts of your skins along with the burning.
along with burning.
Yeah.
So, would you say that it was scar tissue that he wished he saw?
Sarcasm, Mr. Know-It-All.
I'll try and describe to the best of my ability, like what I saw in the reflection of myself
Okay.
to them.
Yeah.
And say it's not similar to your face, Maldronicus. It was much worse.
And you were a child.
Yes, but I retained some of my conscious. I was able to cast my spells I know now. I mean, I woke up and I had seen the after effects of those spells, so I was casting them in my sleep, I guess. It's very
That's
confusing.
bizarre.
So anything we should be worried about with these dreams? Clearly your dreams have revealed to you this location on this map. Are we meant to go there? Or?
Yeah, we should probably be worried about most of the things we've been seeing in our dreams.
In time, I will continue to monitor Cassius's progression, and if things begin to turn dire, we may have to, or maybe our hands may be forced at one.
Sphinx, Sean whispers in your ear for a moment, "Hey, remember your powers."
Hey, listen.
It's Navi. Out of character question, where are we again? Which city?
You are in Kazarim.
Kazarim, right, okay. I couldn't remember. Is there a Blacksmith Inc. location here?
There is not one in Kazarim.
Right, okay.
Or no, wait, yes, there is one in Kazarim. Because that is... Hold on. Yeah, because that is initially where you got the amulet.
Right.
Yep. Sorry, it took me a minute to remember.
Yeah, so I would just say to the party, I want to do more investigation on this amulet if we don't have any urgent plans for the morning. But yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, the turtle was telling you about your powers. I say that out of character, not in character. I don't think I heard it.
Is this early in the morning really the time for it?
Sometimes the information that we don't have is more valuable than the awareness we do.
We'll take that as a yes.
Is she talking at her turtle?
She's talking at her turtle. You can hear, like, the turtle does make a like regular turtle noises.
I'm just gonna look over at the other people, and they don't seem concerned at all about this.
Cassius is nearly not the weirdest thing that's happened to us in a very long time. This is quite usual, actually.
All right, when you look through your spirit sight, you can see that the map now has that glow on it that the Wayfinder used to have on it. And the Wayfinder does not have that glow in it any further.
It seems it's transferred, I suppose is the best to describe it.
I would think so, if that's what you're seeing.
Well, I mean, it's no longer on the Wayfinder. It's now on the map.
Maybe it thinks the map is a better guide. Maybe all it needed was the right touch.
Perhaps that's the case. I mean, a map does the same thing.
Sometimes the spirits move in strange ways, right? Sometimes they move on their own, but sometimes they need a guide who understands them, a warm hand to pull them forward, and the right place to have come from in the first place. You notice that, like, as Sean is saying these things, Sean's voice is more like the voice from your dream than it is like Sean's.
Oh, good. He has his own voice.
Mm-hmm.
Has Sean ever done like that voice before?
No.
Oh jeez. Okay. Slight concern for Sphinx.
And then Sean goes back to talking to you in his normal voice, as if he has no idea what just happened.
We'll just put
Great.
his little turtle head in the Wayfinder spy.
We're not sticking Sean inside of your wayfinder.
Do you publicly say that you're going to torture a spirit?
Me? No, I'm not saying
Okay.
that. I'm just sitting here confused as to why we're not more
Mal starts
concerned
sharpening
about
at you.
talks and things.
He's like, I'm fucking done with this shit.
You know, Ryan, I thought about giving you a talking object. Are you jealous now? Are you jealous that you don't have an object to talk to? That
It's
your
funny
Wayfinder
because,
just has a spirit trapped inside of it that now moved to a map?
they have talking objects, but I'm the one with the sanity score.
So Maldronicus, what was the plan for today? Do we have some goals in mind here?
Squad goals.
Yes, I believe we'll be stopping by in Kamoa before we go to Mukmak.
I mean, we're planning on leaving immediately from the city, or do we have some time to an hour or two to?
There's time. It's not a full day's journey to Kamoa.
I just wanted to check in on this necklace before we left, if that's okay. If we have time.
Can I find? We'll depart. We can depart about 2 hours before noon, so you have about an hour after breakfast. That's it. Be fine.
All right.
Okay. So, Arius, you're going to head to Blacksmith Inc. Does anybody else want to run anywhere in town while you're here?
I've got nowhere to go specifically.
Yeah, and if there's no smithing stuff, I don't think I would either.
Okay.
I'll head around and look for some spirits.
Okay.
See if they're...
Excellent.
So we're meeting. Where are we meeting in an hour then? Back
I
here?
would
Or...
assume back there. I don't know.
I just wanted to make Mal.
What'd you say to me?
We're just meeting back here in an hour then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just meet at the
Gate.
the gate. I'm gonna just go hang out with Pierre, I guess.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Cool. So let's do Sphinx's first. Give me I think I'm gonna add something to what we talked about, Michelle. So give me a spellcraft while you're doing this. Excellent. In your travels today, you have a very limited amount of time, and you notice that as like you're traveling around, most of the spirits that you encounter here seem to be bonded to some sort of service. So you only manage to find one like lone lost spirit. And you kind of have an idea where you want to look, and you kind of head there immediately, and you notice that it is the spirit of the old man you guys beat up.
Arius beat up.
And he, when you like pass by his house, he like comes to you and you can hear him ask, "Why didn't I get to see my wife?"
Where did she go? She was right by the house.
My wife.
Why am I concerned for this old man's ghost wife?
My wife passed on with me, and I'm here. But where is she?
I'm confused now.
What are you confused by?
I thought the wife was dead before.
Right. And you told him, I thought you told him that she was there. Right?
Yeah.
And now his wife isn't there anymore. But he is.
I'm very concerned for this ghost wife.
The ghost like very quickly like blends in with the rest of your ghost pack. All right, Arius, you make your way down to Blacksmith Inc.
I have a quick question for you before I want to RP this.
Yes.
I don't know if you released what that drawback is that I have, but without saying anything, am I able to RP me, like, concerned about having this amulet, or am I supposed to be like, I want it on me all the time kind of thing?
You are able to be concerned about it. Like, intrinsically, you feel some desire to hold on to it, right. But you also, like, you can still have concerns. Okay. Like, think about it like the way most people deal with addiction. They always still want that thing, but some part of them is like, but I kind of wish I could, like, not carry the burden that comes with it.
Okay, yeah, I'll walk into Blacksmith Inc. and find Is it the same shop guy there, or is it a new guy?
Looks like the same guy.
You remember me?
I do, Arius, I do.
I don't think you gave me your name, did you?
No, that's not how we operate here.
Alright, well, I have some concerns. When I signed up for this amulet, I was told it would be minor risk.
Yes.
Does not appear very minor, as the last encounter I was in, I turned into a bloody dragon.
Oh, delightful!
Maybe, but I was not completely in control of myself in that state.
Yes.
And that makes me worried.
A minor problem.
Is it really that
minor? As a dragon, don't you feel that you're much more capable of doing whatever responsibilities you might have?
Sure, but my worry is that this minor concern that you're having with this is what happens if I can't distinguish between friend and foe in that form?
Ooh, yes. We took that into consideration.
Mm-hmm, and?
Yes.
Go on.
Yes.
Yes?
We took that into consideration.
Does the military know about that consideration that you've taken?
Yes. They know that we have the ability that should things get out of hand, it will be recalled.
So you're saying if I were to come anywhere close to hurting my allies, you would recall the amulet?
The contingency is a little bit more different than that. It's if an ally of yours dies to an action that you've performed. It has like a contingency effect that checks for things.
Dies? That's a little too late, no?
Well, we can't tell if maybe you're defending yourself or sparring against a friend of yours, so we can't take chances that in the middle of a spar, all of a sudden this amulet is now miles and miles away from you. Now, can we?
Can I do anything to help with that? Like, can I don't even know if I'm in that state I'll be able to do it, but can I rip the amulet off and it would stop the transformation, or?
Oh no, the amulet becomes part of you when that happens. What you can do is work to resist it. You may fight yourself.
Are you saying I should be actively resisting its power that it gives me every time I use it?
If
There's
you
no tolerance to it, or
if you wish to control it, you will need to learn to do so. The power is inherent in you. The amulet simply amplifies that power exponentially. I'm sure as you've noticed any gestures to like how the scales are starting to appear on your skin.
Yes, I didn't notice that.
Your natural progression is to be more like what you become. If you wish not to, as the transformation happens, you can attempt to resist it.
Good to know. Is there anything else you've discovered about this amulet since I've last been here, or?
Yes, actually. We're very, very pleased to discover that there are positives about it, about your transformation and about your lack of control. In your most recent episode, it looks like, well, it didn't affect your friends. It definitely made sure that you were a more efficient machine for eliminating your foes.
I wouldn't like to be referred to as a machine, but okay.
I understand.
How are you getting this information? Is this via the amulet? Are you scrying on me constantly, or how's this going on exactly?
When you enter into our location with the amulet, we gain the information that the amulet has stored upon it.
Okay.
It's not quite watching you, it's watching the levels of which you do, and the actions which you performed, and anything that you've killed in the process. It's all part of that contingency to identify when you get out of hand.
Okay, I'm about to head off here, but I have another question. That black scimitar, what became of it?
She is resting.
It weighs on my conscience that there is a spirit in there and you basically imprisoned it. Is there a way I can purchase this back and get this back to my ally? Perhaps in exchange of something, you need something done I can do?
I'll make you a deal. If you can convince your friend, Maldronicus, that he should take the weapon for testing.
Which weapon?
The Black Blade.
That you have? What do you mean?
Yes. If he'll take the testing and identify, speak with it, test it, understand what its desires are, what its past is, and what it wants, and then return it when we deem the time necessary, then sure, we will release the blade to him.
Alright,
for
I'll
a time.
present him with this offer, but I don't know if he'll be keen to that last part. I think he wants to help save this spirit.
I'm sure he won't. We know much about this spirit. We know why she rests. We believe we know what she thinks she wants. But I think the revelation of what she thinks she wants will ruin her in ways she won't be able to recover from. Though her situation that got her in this blade in the first place, I'm sure, isn't one that she'd appreciate once she figured out how it happened.
This is all very cryptic and ominous.
If we felt like we could trust you more, we'd be happy to talk about it. But
you can't trust the man you've given the power to become a dragon? Who can you trust?
It's a limited ability to become a dragon. You know that. You can feel it's not quite limitless power.
Just being a little cheeky, right?
I know.
Whatever happened to that gold payment I was supposed to get? I haven't earned that back yet, or what's up with that?
I mean, we saved your life. That's quite expensive.
Okay. Alright, no more questions asked, I guess. Good day, sir.
You too.
And I'll leave the building.
Alright, so, lastly, Mal, you're sitting out there with Pierre as he preps the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
So, how... That was really the wrong accent.
What was that?
Restart.
I was legit practicing the accent in the kitchen, and I can't call it back now. Mr. Maldronicus, it's coming out wrong. How long have you been doing this kind of thing with the military? Has it been a long time? And he's like, sort of, twisting the wheels a bit and like shaking things a bit, shakes the walls of the cart while he's asking you.
Not very long, but it feels like it.
What did you do before this?
Survive.
Surviving is an important thing. Did you have to do things in order to survive, or were you forced to do things in order to survive?
There were moments where I felt I may have been free, but even in those moments, it appeared I was not. All just more trickery.
Being without freedom is a sad thing, yes?
I believe at the worst of things, yes.
May I ask you your opinion, sir?
Anyone in the party is allowed to speak freely, so long as you aren't in the presence of officials.
Which form of lacking your freedom do you feel is worse? Having someone directly take your freedom away and force you to do what you have to do? Or being caught in a situation where you can make a choice, but one choice is certainly a choice of damnations, and the other is a choice of something that might as well be damnations.
The deepest, darkest of lack of freedom, in my mind, is when someone has been led to believe that they have no option but to do something, purely because they were forced into that thinking.
I agree with you. You're a very smart man, Mr. Meldronicus.
He tries to keep his smile back. I dabble.
All right. Eventually, everybody will meet back up at the cart. And I think before we set out of town, let's go ahead and take a quick break. And we'll be back in a little bit.